My camera won't fucking stay still today.
It's Wednesday night and your body's shit. You've got nothing better to do, and you love your rugby league. So it's time to get online for League of Inches.
Welcome back, everybody, to the League of Inches live show. It's almost like the Brady Bunch here tonight. This is the grand final live show edition. Obviously moved the nights because of the Dally M last night straight away. Credit to both Olivia Koenig and to Jerome Hughes, who took out the big awards. So great seasons by both. Both feature on grand final day, which is awesome to see as well. Huge show lined up. The more of you that get involved, as always, the better the show. We're going to have a bit of fun tonight. We're going to have a lot of our end of season awards. Have a bit of fun. There'll be some serious ones. There'll be some muck around ones. There'll be ones involving all the panel members as well. We'll be doing our team of the year. We've all voted for it in our chat. Basically, the highest votes get it. So got our team of the year as well. And just going to be discussing a bit about the grand final, all our predictions. And also, we're just going to be talking about some of the new, what's been in the news the last couple of days, as we always do as well. So get in the comments, get in the chat. Different days. So hopefully all the locals come back on and are not too busy. But let's get straight in. I'm not going to introduce everyone. What I'll do to start with, just ask you what we always do. What caught your eye this week? It can be on or off the field. I'm going to start from straight above me. So Jesse, let me know what caught your eye this week.
I wouldn't say this week. I'd say this morning. I don't know if you've always watched the Champions League at all, but it was a hell of a run. 3 mad upsets. But what caught my eye, you'll have to go and check it out. John Duran's goal against Bayern Munich. Freaking unbelievable if you're interested in seeing it. Oh, they smashed 1-0. They beat him.
Yeah,
they topped the Giants. Oh, man. Honestly, I was just like, what the hell am I watching? This is incredible. It was a great morning for football. So if you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor. It's freaking insane. That was what caught my eye.
A bit of pressure on Harry Kane, isn't there now? There's a bit of the English media into him straight away.
Oh, the English media's into everyone. No, he's flying, man. He's killing it. But I wouldn't worry about the English media. Fine are fine.
Jakey boy, what caught your eye this week?
Well, I've been on holiday, so I haven't had much time for like looking through like news and stuff like that. So honestly, not too much. I mean, the best I can kind of give you is that the Eels are looking to sign a young Bulldogs player, Joash Hopewate. So I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, that's what's caught my eye out of any of the media that I've seen.
Mate, that's a good one. Obviously, as well, the last show, we're all having a bit of a drink. So have a drink with us. Get in the comments, give us a cheers, and we'll be drinking. And I think by the end of the episode, Mika might be able to do a torpedo for us, just for good old time's sake. Trav, what caught your eye this week? Another that's on holidays?
No, I'm back to school.
Sorry. Yes, we're Queensland. I had a mental blank.
Queenslanders returned back on Monday. I think New South Wales in their first week this week. Funny enough. What caught my eye? My Facebook feed loading up with all the NBA. She's back. The NBA team's returning back to camp, and then I saw an awesome comment by one of our subscribers on one of our posts saying, "Can we look into some NBA work?" And I thought, "Geez, that's right. NBA is almost back, so let's go."
Bring it on. Jez, what caught your eye this week? And goodness me, you are looking sharp. Let me just say that.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's always nice to throw out compliments to each other. Very good. What caught my eye? It was a sad one. It was the passing of Maggie Smith. So, being avid Harry Potter fans, that was quite a big loss. She's not only famous for Harry Potter, but many other films. So,
Mm.
the passing of Maggie Smith is what caught my eye.
And on the same day as
Mate, well,
Dumbledore. Yeah.
the other Dumbledore.
Original Dumbledore, the first one.
No.
No, the other one. On the
No.
same day as.
Quick Google. There's many of us on here. Quick, get a Google in.
I can't remember which one. One's up though. One's up. That is a
The
obviously
same
very
one that was
sad loss.
Gandalf as well.
Michael Gambon.
Michael Gambon.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Michael Gambon.
Yeah,
Ah.
same day. Same day a year later. Unbelievable.
That's almost
Bizarre.
magical.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Mika, what caught your eye this week?
How quiet grand final week is when your team is not in the grand final.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when 2022 and the Eels were in it, like just all week reading media and getting excited and watching interviews. And like this week, I've seen fuck all except for the Nelson thing, which we all knew was going to happen anyway. I'd just seen nothing. So, how quiet it is when your team isn't in it.
Yep. No, we don't take notice of the fan days, any of that stuff. So it's just a very quiet, boring week, I guess. Jace, what caught your eye this week?
Well, I'll follow on from what Jez said. I actually did watch Hook the other night with my best mate and his daughter to watch Maggie Smith and that. But what caught my eye was, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Parramatta win the NRLW Try of the Year? I thought that was pretty good, unless that was an in club thing. But that was an amazing try off the kick, and I was very happy to see that. And NRLW is looking great with lots of skills, so that definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, no, that was a the Zali Faye won that one. So
Yeah.
Top try.
nice little shout out there for the ladies, and it was a great try as well. What caught my eye this week? I think it's just the whole Broncos saga, which we will get into, and just the sacking of one of their favorite sons, and it just shows you how harsh this game can be, I guess, in a way. And no coach is really safe in the end if they're going to sack their best, one of their best mates, basically. And the old boys would not be happy about it. We've already heard from Gordon tell us that, but away we go. Let's get into it. Let's get into some footy talk. So straight away, I want to talk about the Broncos and the Madge side of things and just how it unfolded. Obviously, Kevin Walters got the flick. Madge is in now. Jez, I want to ask you first off. Madge, is he the right coach for this Broncos team moving forward? And it's going to be a bit of, I guess, the old boys won't be too happy. There'll be some throwback from this.
Huge having a New South Wales coach in there at the Broncos, but I didn't realise that Kevin Walters was doing such a poor job. Like, I know they had a pretty poor season this year, but to get turfed pretty quickly, was there something else happening? That's the question. Is he the right man for the job? Well, was he the only man for the job? Who else was available is the other question. Who else was in the running? I think the Broncos, the other question is he holding his New South Wales coaching position as well?
No,
he's given that up.
They've already released him.
Get your tinfoil hats on, because maybe the Broncos are making a big play here at New South Wales Rugby League. Maybe that's what they've done.
Oh, look out.
Queenslanders.
Look out. I don't mind that. Jakey boy, why you've got good insight? I'm going to ask you now.
The only one left?
Sorry?
Maybe. I feel like they needed to have someone completely different to Kevy. They needed to get a bit of a hard ass in there now and shake the place up. It seems like they've all got pretty comfortable with what they're doing. Jake, what are your thoughts around it for the Broncos? Good move?
Oh, I mean, look, I don't think that bringing in Maguire is a bad move in any way. I just don't think that Kevy really deserved, if you're going off by performances, I don't think he deserved to be sacked. He took him from a spoon team to a grand final team in very small amount of time with a very small turnover. They were a bit unlucky with injuries this year, so realistically, did he deserve to go? Maybe, maybe not. But he apparently, supposedly, like behind closed doors after their review, he was really not happy about some of the stuff that was said. So it's a bit of a, did he step down? Did he kind of pull out of there potentially? I think bringing in Maguire hurts. As a New South Wales fan specifically, it hurts. I'm actually gutted when I heard that he wasn't going to be there because I really liked his choices this year. I was really happy with everything that he did. So I'm not happy about it, and it has nothing to do with me. So they've managed to do that.
Get ready because I'll throw to you shortly about who you want as the next New South Wales coach. Mika, what were your thoughts around this one? Kevy, should he feel harshly done by? And do you expect the old boys to, what's the word to say? Basically turn their backs on Madge?
I don't think he was hard done by. Like, he had a good year last year, but he's been there 4 years. I guess he hasn't achieved much in 4 years. When you look at good clubs like the Maitland Pumpkin Pickers that in 4 years win three shields in a row. I don't know. I reckon I reckon the writing was on the wall. I think he was probably gone at about the same time that Parramatta made the decision about Brad Arthur. Brisbane just took longer to do it. Whether or not they were talking to Madge in the background, I don't know. I know Tallis has copped a lot of heat, but I actually don't think he's too far from the money when he says, is he a better option than Kevy when you look at he's been sacked from his last 2 clubs? So it's going to be interesting. I don't know how some of those young cocky players up in Brisbane are going to take to a hard ass like Madge, sorry. So time will tell. I reckon it'll be interesting.
It's definitely going to shake the place up. There is no doubt about it, in my opinion. I think these players are not going to be able to get away with half of what they've been able to get away with since Kevy was there. In my opinion, Kevy basically had only made one final series in 4 years. And for the Brisbane Broncos, that simply isn't good enough. And I just think it was time to get it done. People are talking about the time frame and was it appropriate time to do it? Well, I think it's the best time to sort of do it. Get it happening now. Magic's in there now to get all the preseason ready. Obviously, it's going to be hard for him to make any signings for next year because there's really nothing on the market as of right now. But it simply, I feel like it had to be. Trav, was there anyone else that came to your mind in terms of the coach that was able to be selected for the Broncos head job? I think Madge, like on paper, seems like the perfect fit.
No. Yeah. We spoke about this when it came up straight away, like literally 10 minutes after the announcement. At that time, I had the questions of, I haven't heard of many who are available and around, and the talk around available coaches and that has been pretty minimal compared to what I've witnessed or what I've experienced in the past. So I wasn't sure. I'm not really sure who's available at the moment, like sort of Jess kind of said too. So yeah, I think Maguire was almost, the way it's gone, a bit of a no-brainer. But yeah, I don't. But Mika touched on it too as well. Was he the best? Like, he's just been sacked from 2 clubs beforehand, and the West Tigers, and literally they were bottom of the ladder and have continued to be the bottom of the ladder. So really, is he the best? Yeah, good question. Not sure.
Yep. Nah, I'll ask these other 2 boys. They can start us off. Your New South Wales coach for next year, who do you think is your ideal candidate, Jace?
Well, what I hope is that, not I hope, but what I think will happen is Melbourne win the comp. It's a send-off for Bellamy. He retires from NRL coaching and then becomes New South Wales coach next year.
I'll drink to that.
And hopefully he knows what to do to make sure that we win 7, 8, 10, 20 in a row, whatever he's going to do.
Mate, surely he knows those players inside out. Jesse, Who is your option?
Far out, man. Jace makes a good bloody point, doesn't he? I feel like there's nothing else. I feel like at this stage, there's no options. Like, who have we really got to choose from? Unless someone wants to double up, like, why couldn't the Broncos just chase their own Queenslanders and just get Billy or something? Like, leave Madge alone. He was fine. We had a great year with him. He was freaking insane. He picked a great team, won a great series, and he's gone. Just like that. So, like, as fast as it came in, it's gone. And now we just have to remember it. But I genuinely don't know. Like, I haven't really seen too many options. And as far as it goes, like, Brad Arthur makes you sad. I really don't know. Like, I'd love to see a list of contenders for it and just be like, who have we really got to choose from? But yeah,
I've got a couple of names.
Go for it, please.
Mind you, what a success rate to leave on. Well done.
Yes, one and
One
done.
and one.
Just leave on that one, 100%.
Thanks,
Um,
Madge.
There is obviously the rumours of Bellamy coming back and doing it. Paul McGregor is a name that's been thrown up. Nathan Brown is one that I like. I'd love to see Nathan Brown at the helm at New South Wales. Could you imagine that? Imagine how many slaps in the face he'd give out. It'd be fantastic. Get in there, you dog. Give him a slap. Dean Young is also a name that's been put up there. And then, of course, you've got Brad Fittler and Laurie Daly that have been floating around. But I don't know. I kind of like Nathan Brown.
Yeah, he's not in a full-time gig. Obviously, he's gone over to the Eels now, and I don't know. They might give him a bit of time off over that Origin period to do what he does. Jakey boy, what do you got? Do you like any of those options? Or you got someone from left field?
I'm not a fan personally of Brown, but no, not really from left field. The one thing I would say is that I think that we need another hardline kind of player, coach similar to Madge. So I think Bellamy would be fantastic, and again, him against Slater would just be the most awesome thing, kind of like mentor against student in those roles would be awesome. But look, I wish it would be Bellamy, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I'm going to say someone like Jeff Tuvey or something along those lines.
Trav, who you got?
Don't care.
Right, Mika, who you got?
What about
No,
Gus? Bring back Gus, I reckon.
Is that what we're going to say to the grand final as well? We don't care.
Matty King. That's
we
not
get
bad,
Bolton.
actually. He's on the coaching staff already, so. Sorry,
Nah,
Mika,
I
who you got?
I
Andrew
reckon
Johns.
Gus should put his money where his mouth is, and
I don't mind it.
come back and show him how it's done. You can have Joey to help him if he wants. I don't think Joey will ever make a decent coach, in my opinion.
Probably
I
not.
think he works well with teams as halves coach, like sort of in a little bit on the side. But I don't think he could ever make a proper a big man in charge. I think Fittler's been done. I don't think we should go back there anytime soon. Bring back Gus.
Honestly, watching you just do that, you made me feel like you could work at one of those high class bars and you just pour your drink, just talking to your high class paying customers, and you just did not you didn't make a spill, you didn't do anything. So that was
mate.
very, very impressive.
Not my
you
first
sold it
rodeo.
to me well. Honestly, for me, no one really sticks out at the moment. It's a weird time at the moment because Bellamy would be awesome, and so would even Ivan Cleary, but I just don't think that either of them will want to do two jobs at once, and I don't think the clubs will allow them to do that at the moment. And from some of the other candidates, there's people in the media who I wouldn't mind seeing get a coaching run. Like Mick Ennis seems to speak very well, and I really rate his thoughts on the game, so he might be an okay, but I don't think he'll get away from his media gigs. The Johns brothers, one of those, they've obviously got the passion there for it. Matty Johns is a great rugby league mind, but I just don't know. I really, at the moment, have no idea who I'd pick for that role. It's just, I think Madge has really stuffed the Blues at the moment, to be honest. I know it's great to see what he did for us this year, but in a way, the timing, I know there's a few months to make the decision, but no one, Laurie Daly talk, I don't want Laurie back. I don't think Laurie, I know Laurie was up against probably the greatest Queensland team of all time, but I don't think he did a great job. But anyway, bit of debate time. The NAS suspension is missing the grand final, well known now. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I'm going to let Trav, the Melbourneite, quickly have his thoughts around this suspension. If he agrees with it, if he thinks it's fair, if he doesn't, off you go, Trav. I know this has been eating at you for a few days.
Redemption arc.
Yeah, it has, but now it's Thursday and I'm over it. It is what it is. The grand final starts in 2 days. I'm pissed off.
We'll move on.
I still, yeah, just like the New South Wales. I'm the only Queenslander in all you guys. So what are the rose amongst the thorns, eh? The rose amongst the thorns. So yeah, I'm pissed off about it. I think it's a joke. I get the hit. I understand what's happened. I've got lots to say. I would have said it a few days ago, but unfortunately I couldn't make that podcast. But yeah, I've got 3 points that I'd like to talk about, and then I'm going to leave it at that.
He deserves longer.
Right?
Come on.
And I could sit here for the next 15 minutes and take over the show, and I'd eat you
Got some
alive.
awards to
Cole,
give
because
out.
your rubbish is a joke. But what I don't get, right, is JFH. There's lots of replays about JFH shoulder that went straight through Rudolph's face and not a word, right? Not a single word. There was a swinging arm from Crichton that went straight through the face of Jerome Hughes, and he scored a try. Not a single word. Not a word, right? Then let's also now talk about Taylor May last year, who got a suspension and was carried over for something that was absolutely illegal in the community, and yet his suspension was carried over, and we ignored that for the grand final so he could play. So I'm not going to sit there with that. So
Hey, no one on
points that I'm
this
going to
panel
talk about.
ignored that. We were into him about that.
Yep. But hey, it's different rules. And the reason why it's different rules is two. One, it's Nas with his history, and two, it's because he's a Storm.
Yeah, good. He deserves longer.
He should have got sick.
Should have been sent
Forget
off.
Yeah, he should have been sent off. Had enough of him. Sick of his attitude. Rest in peace, Lindsay Collins. We got robbed. Should have been in the final.
Well, that
Lost
debate
by-
went well.
lost by
I'm glad
30.
we had that. I'm glad we had that debate. Mika, you look like you want to say something.
He's on
You're
mute. mate.
muted.
He's on mute.
Muted yourself.
That's a sign. Shut up, Mika, and let's move on.
Right. It's all well and good to say that JWH did this and Crichton did that. Those were wrong calls by missing them. That doesn't make the NAS one a wrong call because we got it right. Like he should have. There's no way he's going to play the grand final after that. He at least deserved 1 week every game of the year.
I've never once said that I don't think he should have been suspended for at least a week. I don't think he deserves 5 or 4, but then
Yeah, he
turned out
got
to
the
5.
extra. He got the extra one
Got the
because they
extra.
were dumb and tried to fight
That's
it.
right.
Like, that was,
I don't think he deserved. I
Top
think
prize.
they stuffed up the category 3.
I'll probably agree with that.
Straight away.
I'll probably
And,
agree with that. But
and a 4-week suspension is a massive mistake.
is there any priors going into that 4 weeks, or does that?
Yeah,
not
Yes.
that's
happen?
why.
I was about to say, what's
the
his
weeks of
loading?
I'm happy with it again. 4 weeks. Get the fuck out of here, Naz.
It wasn't a 4-week hit, but obviously he's done it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
like,
so what?
I don't know,
3 with an extra week.
Yeah, well, and he lost the thing, so that's exactly right. But I remember them seeing, NRL 360, Talos going on about it. You shouldn't miss a grand final for it, but it's like, it's irrespective. He did the wrong thing. He got a suspension. So what if the next week happens to be the grand final? You can't have different rules for it. We've been talking about it the whole final series, different rules for the final series compared to the last 27 weeks. This would be a prime example of that. Had he just been palmed it off, oh, it's all right, we'll just carry it into round 1. It's like, no, do the crime, mate. Sorry, stop being a knobhead. Lower your body.
Do the time even. I want to imagine if you could just like put your suspensions on hold because there's a big game coming up. It's like, no, I'll do it next year. Like I'll like get double it and I'll do it next year. Could you imagine that as an option? Double it and I'll do it next year.
Well, they sort of started that precedent by letting Taylor May carry his suspension over to the year after.
Yeah, but again, see that was wrong.
Yeah.
was
But
wrong.
that doesn't
We
mean.
can't
But
make it normal.
I get that. But you can't fucking then come and do it for this one and not allow it. Like, yeah, it's just.
But you can't, because they've made one mistake, you can't keep carrying that on now for the rest of eternity, and they just keep making
That's
that. They've
what
got
you
to
para fans
Yes, you
constantly.
can. That's
keep-
what we do on this
That's all you
podcast.
ever do.
You're not
And
in
that's
this group chat,
exactly
Joel.
right, Jezza. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Muted
Okay,
for
Sorry,
a
okay.
reason.
sorry.
We'll stop
He's got you
complaining. We'll stop complaining if you give us 09. Okay? How about that?
Give it
Oh, here we
back.
go. Oh my god.
No, we're not going there. We're not going
Let's
there.
go back 20
Sorry.
years. Yeah,
Sorry, I
no
brought
worries.
it up.
More evidence for the dynamic kickoff, though, has been working well in the NFL.
Yeah.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Oh, no.
That it hasn't been
I'm with
working
you,
well in the
Jez.
NFL? Because you're
No.
right, it has.
Blood.
No.
It has.
No, no,
100%
no.
it has, and It's only been 4 weeks.
Yeah, but we've now seen one off a kickoff. How many concussions off a kickoff this year? Is this
I know,
like
but
the
they're not
3 in
worried.
the last 2
They're not
weeks.
worried about in-game collisions. It's only from the kickoff. Remember, that's when it
Exactly.
only happens.
That's why it's ridiculous. It's like 0.3% or some shit. So it'll all start again and it'll get nowhere because the statistics just don't back it up.
Can you imagine?
Never
rugby
mind, there's
league
been
up
about
to-
4 or 5 concussions in the NFL just in general play, not off kickoffs. But the
Yeah.
dynamic
They wear
kickoff is
helmets.
working well.
Yeah,
They wear
it's
helmets.
ludicrous.
All right.
Yeah.
We're moving on now. We're going to the awards. So the first lot of awards for the night. hence the collared shirts. And everyone get in the comments as well when we give out these awards. We want to hear your opinions on things as well. Going to start off with our team of the year. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read them out, what we've decided in the group. We all just did votes. Some of us might not agree, some of us might not, but I'll just throw to one person each time I do a position, and they can just give us their thoughts around that position. Now, first of all, fullback. Now, we were locked at, I think there's 9 of us all up. So we were at 4 and 4 for this. There was an Edwards, and then there was for Tedesco, 4 votes each. Now, I'm going to give Jez, who voted for Kalen Ponga, and there's a question coming up later in this to say
My vote.
the one-eyed member of League of Inches. We might have a little hint there. Jez, can you be the deciding vote here, please? You can vote for either Tedesco or Edwards, and because you're giving the final vote, you can give us your reasons behind it as well.
It's going to have to be Dylan Edwards. He was probably dynamic through the whole season. I know Teddy had a pretty strong back end of the season and was very consistent, but Edwards got the origin spot and deservedly so. So I am going to give it to Dylan Edwards, but I'm not changing my vote from Kalen Ponga. No.
All right. I'm going to quickly change my rule. Jesse, I'm just going to give you a little chance to go back because you're obviously huge on Tedesco this year. Just let us know why you think Jesse's wrong.
Well, it's freaking obvious, isn't it? Like, they were 1 point off in the Dally M. Tedesco was unbelievable this year. He was insane. And obviously, Edwards killed it. Edwards killed it. And, admittedly so, he was great all year, Origin. But he also had the luxury of stepping up in the absence of Cleary. And, we've seen Edwards kill it for years, and he's a very vital part of the Penrith system. And he plays a very important role in the system. He's a good cog for it. But I think when you put them together, I feel like just Tedesco this year just had the edge individually with the team, with everything, with the influence for the side. Edwards was great, but Tedesco was a different animal this year. I think I'm surprised it actually went that close to a vote, and somehow he's freaking lost it. But yeah, well,
he missed out on the Dally M by 1 vote. Let us know in the comments, guys.
Who's the one-eyed fan now?
Wingers. So we're going to do the full team 1 to 13. So 2 wingers we gave out. One is Zach Lomax. The other one, Jacob Carraz. Now I will throw to Trav for this one. Agree with this, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. We did well. I don't really. There's not much to say about it. I thought we all did well. Well done, everybody. Well done, team. I know that Toto was in the NRL team of the year, but and well deserved. But yeah, I think it was easy. I think we did well.
Centers of the year, we ended up with Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth, so the same as last night. Jace, opinions on this one?
I don't know where Farnworth came from. Maybe I've just missed it. I know he played well the last 4 or 5 games, but the rest of the season, was he injured? I just didn't notice him at all until the last 4 or 5 games of the season. But that one surprised me a bit. Look, Crichton, of course, Crichton was he took the doggies to the finals. But yeah, I know someone can fill me in on why Farnworth was up there. But I know those last 4 or 5 games, like I said, he played excellent. But I don't know about the overall year he had.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a Herbie Farnworth fan. I love him, but when I saw the name list today for the centres, I sort of thought, geez, I don't remember him doing that much for the first at least half of the year. So I'm with you on that one, Jace.
Who would you put there, Jace?
In the centres?
Yeah, in that spot.
Good fucking question.
You've got Holmes, Roman.
What's the Storm guy? The Howard. Sorry. I actually think he played really well throughout the whole season.
That's a fair shout. He has been very consistent. Good shout.
He didn't play all season.
My other one, and it's going to sound one-eyed, but Dane Gagai had a really big year too and was very consistent. So I wish someone else had to say that, but of course it had to be me.
I picked him in the poll
for a sec, but it probably got drowned out in the chat right before.
I picked him in the poll, and no one else did.
Yeah.
No, Jez did. Jez, there was 2 votes for Gagai. So, but no, I personally gave my vote to Iro. I thought Iro was pretty good this year for his first year. But look, that's what it is. And I do agree with what you're saying, Jace. I actually don't think Herbie overall was better than say like last year either. But I think what it was is short-term memory a bit. I feel like because Herbie was so good the last 5 or 6 weeks, a lot of people have remembered his back end of the season and sort of got away from how he started the season, which was very quiet, very, very quiet.
Well, he was injured for a good chunk at the beginning, but he
Yeah,
come
that's-
back, and honestly, he never played a bad game. That was the thing with Herbie. He played, I reckon, more than half the season, and it was never bad. And then he just excelled towards the end. So
All right, 5/8 of the year.
Can you highlight that
Winning-
last comment, please?
Oh, no, I gave. Oh, here you go. For the podcast listeners, I gave my vote to Addo Carr. Poor bloke needed a charger. Well,
What
Matthew, I'm starring that. I'm going to somehow get you something for that comment. That is magnificent. Get in the comments, guys. I'll organise some things. Don't worry. 5/8 of the year,
Matt.
Matty Burton. We gave it to. I know Dearden won it last night, but we ended up with Matt Burton. Who do I go for here? I'm going to give this one to Jesse. Thoughts around this one?
Matty Burton.
Yep.
Yeah, well, look what the Dogs did this year, man. Look at the turnaround from Burton. Like, he's obviously the hype on Burton's been huge since he left Penrith, and like he hasn't really hit the strides until basically this season. He's just been good, without being exceptional. But the Dogs as a unit were just nuts, and yeah, Burton was a weapon, man. He was, especially beginning of the year too. Like, he really, really just proved it. Like, the Dogs just came out as a different animal, and he pretty much carried as well. To be fair, he did have Drew Hutchison there at the time, so before Sexton come through and sort of took a bit more of that role, he basically had the right to do everything. And then, Drew just kind of did all the dirty work. But yeah, no, he was great, man. And in a season where there was no real exceptional standout 5/8s, like, he really did pick it up and take off. So yeah, I'm very happy with that one. I reckon Burton killed it. I think I voted for it as well.
Spoken very well by the closet dog supporter. He went to more Dogs game this year than he did to his own team. So,
One.
well done.
One.
One and-
We didn't even get to see a Burton bomb though. Bring back the Burton bomb. What's he doing? Unbelievable. He's
strategic
good for one
thinking,
thing. Just
get it
kick it.
up. Halfback
Yeah.
of the year, Trav, you're going to explain this one. I think it's fitting. None other than the Dally M winner, Jerome Hughes. We got that one right, boys.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. What
That was
else do you want to
unanimous,
say?
by the way. Unanimous.
That was a unanimous vote. Easy to go. Pretty lucky that Cleary didn't play a lot of the year, and Hines and things like that too. But credit where it's due. Hines has been enormous. Hughes has been enormous this year, and he's carried that Storm team through all of the injuries and thing that's happened. So well deserved. And he's had a wonderful year. We were blessed to watch what he was able to do this year.
Yep.
How many games did
agree.
he miss this season?
Two.
Two?
One.
Only two. That's huge.
Yeah. Rest
He
and
was
suspension
phenomenal.
when the ref got in the way.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
a
That was
joke.
Is it
Don't
It's
touch
a
the ref.
worthwhile mention. I know Wishart would probably get 14, but him at 6 and him helping Hughes, I think was huge this year with Munster out. Wishart, for me, I wish Parra went after him. He is phenomenal. He is an absolute gun of a player.
He is
Melbourne
very
went through what 4 5/8 this year, like in halves puntings. I know Grant Anderson had a run in there as well. There was quite a few in that rotation throughout the season in 5/8.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pest's
think-
been injured all year. I don't think he played any games.
started.
Or did he play the first couple? I think he
I think he
might
played
have.
the
Yeah, you're
first
right.
one.
first
I think
couple.
this
I
is
think he
right.
played the first one, but then then he got done for the year. Anderson did play, but that's not his natural spot. I think he did it because we didn't want to put Wishart in that spot at the time.
No,
And
I
then
was just saying as a compliment to Hughes and like his that rotating 5/8 role. He just did so well to hold that together, and
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely deserves that Dally M.
It'd be very, very hard. Our props of the year, AFB, as was given last night, and we actually ended up with Mitch Barnett. So the Warriors pairing for props of the year.
we really?
Mika, let us know your thoughts around that one.
Did we? It's fucking Goosey voting on that or what?
Yeah,
I mean,
how many votes
in that
did
did
you
you?
Goosey times 3 vote.
I can't remember who I voted for. Fisher Harrison. I think I went Hargraves. I just feel like, even though Hargraves was out a lot, I still feel like his impact when he was in the team was quite big. So Barnett, I don't know how I'm going to. I don't know. I don't really think anyone from the Warriors had a good year. I couldn't pick any of them in my team of the year. So that one's a shock to me.
He got an Origin selection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he had a good year, but he wasn't the best.
Barnett was great.
Well, at
Big
least
league.
the first half. You're right. The first half of the year, and back when Goosey was banging on about him all the time, you're right. He was, but he's had a quiet second half of the year.
Goosey got him
Yeah,
his
he got-
Origin debut, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a few games in the second row towards the back end of his year as well. So I think that played into effect, and he lost his sort of mojo in a way. I voted for Barnett over. I know Tarpany was the other probably big one, and my opinion, just his start of the year was really, really good. He got the Origin jersey as well, and I just thought overall, and as you rightly said, Mick, the Warriors have been really poor this year, but I think if anyone can stand up, it's probably their front rowers, and I think that shows there with team of the year. Second rowers of the year. No, so actually, no, sorry, I'll go hooker first. Harry Grant ended up getting it for us. So the same as, first of all, I'll say this, and Jace, I'll get your thoughts around this one. Controversial. I don't actually think Harry Grant had a great year. For his standards, I actually don't think he's been at that Harry Grant level for a lot of this year. The last month or month and a half of footy, I think he's definitely getting back there. And the weekend, he was phenomenal. But throughout the rounds of football, I actually think he's been pretty quiet this year. Jace, thoughts around the Harry Grant selection?
I totally agree with you. I got him out of my Supercoach side just before he started killing it because he was playing so poorly.
Oh boy.
That's the way Supercoach rolls, you know.
Yeah.
Not one ton, and the second I get rid of him, he gets like 4 tons after that. Anyway, yes, look, I agree. He started off very quiet, and I think it was because of no Munster. I think he was finding it difficult of his role in the team without Munster. And look, to be honest with you, I thought Coruscant might have deserved a bit more of a shout. Like, he carried the Tigers team the whole year. I know they came last and didn't do
To a
much.
spoon.
But, yeah, but
Wasn't a hard
honestly,
carry.
yeah, honestly, I know it
Rob?
sounds stupid. But without Coruscant, the Tigers might have done a lot worse.
We've come
And I
last.
don't know how that's
They could
possible.
have come.
They could have
had
got
a worse
a full circle and
Amazing.
only come last again next year. But
Got lapped.
he
Could have had a
more.
could have had a worse, more differential than minus 287.
Yeah, would have
Yeah.
been 500. Would have been 500 and something. You know, like
He got suspended
played
every
halfback
game
as well. Like
anyway.
he did so many things for that team. I reckon he just deserved a shout out because I know, like, as much as I do agree, Harry Grant is probably the best hooker in the comp. Someone like Coruscant really did like try his heart out and probably was one of the only ones in the Tigers team.
Appy tried so hard. I think he averaged
By the
about
way,
90 minutes in the sin bin for the season as well for
I was gonna
professional
say-
fouls.
I was going to say, I reckon he missed at least a full game just in the bin. Accumulated. Like,
Just tried too hard.
100%. 100%.
oh,
And Lockie Gavin says, hold my beer. I reckon Lockie Gavin done a very good job this year in helping that Tigers team achieve a wooden spoon. But Matty, by the way, in the comments, obviously that Adakar one, if you fit a medium, let me know because I've got an League of Inches shirt for you.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, hang on, you need to wear yours.
Yeah, true.
Second rollers of the year, Jez, I'm going back to you. You get two bites at the cherry here. We gave it to Angus Crichton and Ellie Esa Katoa, if I've pronounced that first name correctly. Thoughts around that one?
Well, that's who I voted for, so I obviously agree on both of them. They were the standouts in that group, and I think Crichton had a really good season and was pretty impactful in Origin as well, wasn't he? From memory,
Huge.
He was really, really good. So he was my first vote without even thinking about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely phenomenal. And just every time we talk about Crichton, I always say that his story, obviously last year, all the demons he was fighting. It's great to see him come back this year, and not just on a football field. Obviously, last night seen him at the awards and stuff, and he just generally looks happy again and in a really good place. So that's really good to see. We always support men, obviously, with those sorts of demons. Finally, the lock of the year, we gave it to Isaiah Yeo. I think it's back to Jesse. Jesse, give us a quick thoughts on this one before we get into some of these good awards.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I didn't want to have a say of anything
Yeah,
at all.
Jake.
Oh, sorry, Jake. Sorry, Jake. Sorry.
No, you're right.
No.
You saw Jake's face
No, I just
straight
said
away.
someone else. It's all good.
He's turning red up in that top corner because he hasn't had a go.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Jake.
On his
Let
breath.
us know
On his
your
breath.
thoughts around Isaiah Yeo and the lock position.
I don't think I want to anymore. I do look
And
red, don't I?
moving on to
Hang
the next
on.
award.
Hang on. His face is so red because he's been holding a fart in and he wasn't sure when you were going to finally cut to him.
He's been on
because I was
mute.
scared. I was
By the
scared
way.
to mute. You know?
By the way,
Um,
parts on air are funny. We found that out this season.
He did.
I actually personally voted for Cameron Murray, even though the Rabbitohs didn't do all that well. I just thought that he did a lot better. But anyway, look, Isaiah Yeo, to be fair, when Cleary stepped down, like when he wasn't there, he was injured. When he was back, you still noticed him either way, which I thought was a very important thing. And the ball playing that he has is just ridiculous in terms. All the commentators and stuff always talk about it, how he's like an extra member of the spine. Like a 13 is not usually considered that, but he is for them. And he just did it again this year. Still don't rate him for Origin though, so I would be happily not having him in the Blues. But
I got a question for the Cam Murray voters. Do you realize he played about half the year, first of all? And then let's talk about those 12 or 15 games he played. He played a half of those in the second row. He hardly played lock this year.
I don't give a fuck,
Look at
man.
that.
He's sexy as shit.
He's
And that's like
Oh, he's got a
point.
massive
That's
head.
why we voted for Herbie.
It's the eyes, man. It's the eyes. He's and his hair.
that's- in the
His
hair, in
does-
the hair.
The hair
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
still flows. Oh,
All right.
It'd be nice,
We're
wouldn't it,
getting into
Mika?
some of the fun.
please be still my
All right.
beating heart.
His good looks got him over the line, and he was looking great on the red carpet last
Sex
night.
sells, man.
Right.
Sex sells.
Apparently, take it off soon. All right, let's get into some of the fun awards. Everyone will get a go. We'll try and be quick with these ones, so we're not dragging this out too much. First of all, our favorite on-field moment of the year. Let's go to. I'm going to stitch him up. Jesse, what's your favorite on-field moment of the year?
I've got two.
Oh,
One,
from
one's
someone who
not a
wasn't
moment
prepared, that's good.
off the dome. One's not a moment, it's a half. And it's game 2 for Origin.
Ooh.
That first half the Blues played was honestly, that 40 minutes was the best 40 minutes of footy I've ever seen, ever. And that would honestly, it's a standout. It's the first thing that I thought of when I thought, what was the best thing to happen all year? It was game 2's first half. I thought it was just incredible. I bloody loved it. My other moment was when Dom Young got his shirt ripped off. And I thought,
Nevada.
holy moly, who's this bloke?
Oh,
yeah.
goodness me.
That
Let
is
us know as well in the
demographic,
comments.
isn't it?
Your
Hey.
vote. Jakey boy, what was your favorite on-field moment?
oh, you remembered me this time.
Yeah, I'll go around this time, so I do.
My one was the Hammers try. I can't remember who he was versing.
Yeah, that was good.
Was it the Cowboys? Maybe.
I think so.
Shark
that
Park.
Oh,
We ran the whole
yeah,
field.
yeah. That long distance whole field try was just something special, and that was easily my favorite. And I don't even like them, the Dolphins, but it was just a great try.
And a
Nothing
shout
much
out
more
to
to
Adam
say.
Martin. His contribution to this page, he made a reel comparing that with the Jared Hayne try, and it was watched a hell of a lot. So, well done to you, Adam. That was a great moment for you on this page this year. Trav, what was yours?
Yeah, funny enough, I had two like Jesse. And funny enough, as a Queensland supporter, but I actually wrote one of the best halves of footy in that game too. So I actually, funny enough, wrote the same thing as Jesse did
Hey.
as a Queensland supporter. But you got to appreciate what we saw, and that was just immense. Yeah, so I put that down, and then just as a single play, the Xavier Coates try that inevitably won the try of the year was one of the best tries I've seen in bloody hell. Like even a few weeks ago, I brought it up and with my wife sitting on the couch going, I remember that try. Jesus, that was a good try. So yeah, that was my big favorite.
Sensational. Jez, what do you got?
Well, it was the Xavier Coates try of the year because he jumped from about 5 meters out and did a full flip, and it was sick. My off the top of my head there was lots of classic catches this year, which I love. When players have to do reflex catches, they normally take them 2 hands about that far off the ground, whether it's to save a knock on or anything like that. So I love when it turns out to be a classic catch. But also my on-field moment would have to be Mitch Moses stepping up in Origin. That was just
Motherfucker, that was mine.
that was phenomenal. And coming from a non-Parramatta supporter, but a massive Mitch Moses supporter, that was really cool to see. Cometh the man,
Well,
cometh the hour.
That saves us 30 seconds. I don't have to ask Mika. So, no, Mika, would you have any others?
Oh man, it was all about Moses under the posts. I was jumping around my fucking lounge room. I was shaking me missus, and she was like, "Are you crying? What the hell is wrong with you?" Like, that was amazing. Me and my daughter were sitting there, and I knew as soon as he come off his left foot, he'd seen something, and he was going for gold. So I was fucking stoked with that because he's copped a lot of shit off my mates, and it was good to see him step up and nail it. So I ain't seen Cleary do anything like that in Origin yet.
That was a very fun podcast afterwards as well. We did some of those straight after the game potties for your Origin, and they were very, very fun to do. Jace, what about yours to wrap it up?
Well, I had 5 and now I have 3. So,
Oh goodness me!
look, Dearden taking down Cobbo, chasing him down. That was amazing.
That was good.
Hammer chasing down the Fox, amazing. But unfortunately, I do want to be a little bit one-eyed. Moses kicking to Lomax in Origin was one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life, and it just gave me visions of 2025 and what could be for Parramatta. So I don't want to disturb that dream, and that's for me. That was the best on field.
For me, shout out to all the bros out there. Mine is the SJ, the final pass at Shark Park, which set up the match-winning try. His final play of his career. I spoke about this already. For some reason it got to me a bit because watched him grow, but basically watched him my whole life, watching footy and seeing that guy do what he did, and just on the big stage there, big NRL grand game, final touch of his career, he sets up a try that wins the game for his team. So shout out to SJ there. I thought that was a really cool moment. Here we go. League of Inches stupidest take of the year. Having a bit of a laugh with this one. If any of our loyal listeners out there can let us know any they remember from the year, this is a pretty tough one. So this is going to be, some might not have something. I'm not sure. I had to listen back to a fair few podcasts today, so I've got our views up and our listens up today. But Jake, anything that points out to you this year with a crazy, stupid take?
I've actually got a bit of a special mention of a friend of mine, not from this podcast, beforehand. He said at the beginning of the year, his take was that the Storm wouldn't make the 8. That one was my favorite. Storm not to make the 8, and Sharks to get the spoon.
What the fuck?
And I could not believe it.
Is it a name and shame?
Not with their draw.
Is it a name and shame?
Yeah, Adam Quinn. I'll put him out there. I'll let him know that I'll make sure he goes back and, because he's on holidays in Europe at the moment. I'll make sure he comes back and watches this. And yeah, worst takes I've ever heard. Thank you. Worst takes I've ever heard in rugby league ever, and I just don't think any of us have said anything that tops that.
Wow, that's
No,
shocking.
I rate that. You'll be surprised with what I've got for you. Trav, what was yours if you got one?
Yeah, I do. I've got live show Immortal Edition. I had to go back and watch this one because it's been sticking out my head since it was said. Adam Martin says 430 games, 100 of them shouldn't have counted, which then he started to rely on the fact that Cameron Smith had no talent. Cameron Smith was no good. And Joel, Jesse, and I freaking just went, what the fuck are you talking about? And just bailed him up. So Smith's stats don't compare to any other Immortals or even Hall of Famers, he said.
They're better.
You don't know, taking into consideration what would happen throughout the time Cameron Smith wouldn't have turned up if he had have played the same player. Queensland wouldn't have been as dominant, he said. God. As soon as you posted the agenda, as soon as I saw that, I knew exactly where I was. I went straight to that podcast so I could get what was said, and then off I went.
Oh, Adam. I have a feeling you might feature a couple of times over this little part. Jez, what do you got?
My memory's not that good.
Mine.
I kind of just live in the moment. So I don't know. It's not stupid. It was definitely a highlight. It was Mika belly flopping in the pool in Fiji. That was pretty.
Hey,
that was pretty fun.
That's next. That's podcast moment of the year. That's
Yeah, that's not stupid as take.
Well, as I said, I just focus on the positive stuff. So I've got no negatives to throw out.
Why don't you throw out him that episode, Drunken Mika? He has a number.
There's
of
no way
things
that
like
was a
no,
negative.
no,
There's
no.
no way that's a
Um,
negative.
I did like it when one of the viewers called Mika out for smoking too many bongs. So he's now known as Too Many Bongs Mika. Look how relaxed he is up there.
There's never too many bongs. That's
Oh, Mika, what do you got for us?
amen.
I struggled to remember any that were really bad. Adam saying Melbourne wouldn't
Yeah,
get.
too many bongs.
Adam saying that Melbourne were going to get the minor premiership was pretty dumb. But I remember arguing a lot about the Suwali hit in Origin 1 and people saying there's no way it was a send-off, blah, 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 blah. I thought, given the state of the game and where we are and what we know, I thought that was a bit of an odd take considering that Pretty Eyes was laying on the ground pretty much having a seizure.
That
He
got
milked it.
hotly debated. The comment section, I
Yeah.
remember that was going off its head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jace, what do you got?
I've been trying to think about it. Been struggling a little bit, but
That's all
what comes straight away to my mind was is I guess it's related, but two separate things. Was the first anyone saying that BA deserved another chance, and the second was anyone who was happy with Jason Rolls. Because for me, they were both some odd takes where BA had his time and Jason Rolls hasn't done anything. So I'm hoping to eat my words, but yeah, I just thought they were a bit odd takes if anyone had that view.
Jesse, as someone who has done zero research for this podcast, anything
As you
that
do.
pops up?
What for bad takes? I fucking do a
Just
pod review
stupid
every
take.
single week about Supercoach. Take your pick. I've got about
Oh, it's
27
ripping.
weeks of references for bad
I've
takes
gotten away
coming
with
out of
this.
your mouth when it comes to Supercoach. So, man, multiple episodes, countless hours of Joel's Supercoach
Thank you.
advice that you shouldn't listen to. So,
All right.
take your pick.
Well, Adam's got away with this a lot more than I thought he would. So
Yeah.
there's two ways
Yeah.
I could take this one. First of all, we could talk about Adam Martin's ladder predictions at the start of the year. Now
Raiders
he had
to get
Raiders,
Was
he
that
had
right?
Raiders
Yeah.
last place, and he was adamant about that even like midway through the year. There's a podcast he's going, "Oh, my prediction of them coming last. Now they've lost Fogarty. It's on the cards." Didn't happen. They finished equal to the top 8. His top 3. Now, this is his top 3. He had the Broncos finishing first. He had the Eels finishing second, and then he had the Warriors finishing third. So I
Damn.
tell you what, looking back on it, he's obviously had a wild little moment there, but that's not the worst of it. Now, I've gone stupid as takers in what could have got the podcast into a hell of a lot of trouble. Back when Paul Kent did what he did, he decided to make a call, and I'm not going to repeat the call, but it's got to do with Paul Kent and a root. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. And I was shit myself when he said this because I thought we were odds on to getting shut down for sure. Luckily, I think the laughter that came out of Mika when he said this actually faded out what he said,
I
but
need
it
you
was
to-
just Adam Martin on
Mika's
one
Yeah.
of his.
Can you put that in our group chat? I can't remember it.
Yeah, I need.
I'll put it on. I'll
What did he say?
Well, can you write it as a
Yeah.
Say it
comment?
right now. Just say it right
I'll
now.
screenshot it and I'll.
What do you-
Mate,
what-
if I
what-
risk.
What are you worried
No.
about? You just say Adam Martin said, and then you say it.
That's a quote,
Yeah.
a direct quote.
Direct quote
Yeah.
from him.
Who he's
It's all-
representing.
It's all on him then.
I'm moving on. Thank you.
You
Podcast
should have
moment
renamed
of
the segment in the group chat to "What didn't we like about Adam this
Adam
year?" And
Martin.
we all would have understood the assignment, and we all would have done a bit more research because it
Can
just
I
turns
just-
into word vomit when Adam Martin's in the chat.
Can I just
Technically,
say, I'm his brother. I got to fucking live with him. You all get off easy. You only have to deal with him in the chat and once a week on here. Try living with him.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Imagine the family dinners.
Send
Podcast
people.
moment of the year. And our loyal listeners, I'm very keen to hear your thoughts as well on this one. Something that sticks out for you guys. I am starting us off here because it has to be said, and I'm sure it's going to be said a number of times here. The Mika jumping in the pool. They're on holidays. They're having a few brewskis. They decide to come onto the great thing for the page and honor their podcast commitments, which was awesome to see. Little did I know that Mika would be almost legless. And then I think he made a bet very early on in that podcast, said he'd end up jumping the pool. a man of his word. The podcast is one of the funniest podcasts you'll probably listen to in some time. Go back and you probably need to watch it. There's moments he's trying to poke Adam in the face. It's full on. It's hilarious. And he ends it by belly flopping into the pool. It was a moment. Trav, what do you got?
I'm glad you actually picked me second. Thank you, because I really wanted to give a shout out to Jez and his song. And I'm really hoping that Jez sings that for me right now, because that was a bloody good song.
Jez, can you
Do you
sing us
remember
a
it,
song,
Jez?
please?
Doesn't
Can you
remember.
remember?
Song?
You recited
yeah.
song? Bloody funny,
when you
man.
recited the
Oh,
rugby,
The 12th man.
Oh,
That's
the
it.
12th man.
Yes,
Ah,
that's
yes. Jerry,
Yeah.
see you. I see you too, Jerry. Want any tomato? No, I'm okay, tar. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's great.
yeah, quality moment, that one.
Jez, what about you? What's a podcast moment of the year?
Obviously, Mika jumping in the pool was huge, but then I also liked the Strawpedo failed attempt. I thought that was fun. When it came out his nose, that was spectacular. So Strawpedo's out of the nose for me. Thank you, Mika Martin.
Oh, Mickey, you featured heavily. What do you got?
Yeah, Fiji was pretty fun. I drank so much alcohol that day.
Only that.
There was
day.
yeah, only that day. There was a point, and this is probably going to sound a bit weird, seeing as that's your page, Joel. But there was a podcast that I did with Jesse, Adam, and Jeremy that was actually quite good. Anytime I got to do a podcast with one of the new, like other boys stepping in, it was always good to do something different. Yeah, probably Fiji. Oh, actually, no. The one after Origin. That was really fun because we were all drunk then too.
Jace, what do you got for us?
It's not LOI, but it is LOI member. Good old Jakey. Absolutely loved him on the Talking Para podcast when he got kicked off. It was quality. It was comedy gold. And then I got told later by Adam that it was all set up as well because he actually had to leave. So he did this act. It was just the best thing I've ever seen. It was so good. It was so good. I loved it.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Appreciate you.
Jesse. Yeah, Jakey gets easy. He's gone bright red again. Jesse, what do you got?
The lighting.
There's a couple, There's a couple. It's so obviously I had the Jez song down because I thought that was freaking hilarious. There was one that actually I think it was you again, Jez, where you put a photo of Adam after he got a haircut up with a crop of the Goonies.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was
I
like
need to
it was
bring that back.
uncanny. It was so perfect. I was like, that is
Yeah.
honestly, it broke me. Yeah, that was honestly hilarious. The photo that we kept snapping back to of your dad, which was a live stream at the stadium for about a month. That was
Yeah.
it was just a
He's still
running
there.
joke. He's still there. Just waiting for the next season 8. Yeah, there was a couple. It was just little clips from like old ones going back. They're just classic. But the Goonies thing, man, fuck, it broke me. It was so funny.
I just got to quickly, for old time's sake.
Let's just see if Dad's still at the ground, actually. I'll get on the satellite, just tapping in at the top of Matt Jones, getting ready for soccer season. Yep, he's still there. He's still there under the umbrella,
There he is.
holding the fort. It is a bit drizzly here tonight, so good on you, Wayne. What a legend.
Oh, that is awesome. That is all time. Goodness me. Moving on. Nah, sorry, Jakey boy. What do you got?
Leave. I might leave.
What do you got?
Okay, so you said podcast moment of the year. You didn't say that'd be a good moment. My one is when Adam joined as he was driving. And my one was when Adam joined and he was driving and he was podcasting to the side and none of us could see him and he was kind of half answering questions and then he was like, all right, I'm leaving, and ended the podcast.
That was
I
not
sort of
a
sat there.
moment.
I didn't say it was a good podcast moment. I just said it was the moment of the year for me because I just sat there at the end. I was like, oh my god, what's happening?
That completely threw us as well. That episode, that was tough. That was a tough one. Our rookie of the year. Now, I took this completely differently that I learned once I got onto this podcast, and a lot of you took this. So the way we're doing it is actually going to do Rookie of the Year for the podcast. So I will go to one of the rookies, I guess, who's eligible for this one. Trav, who did you lock in for your Rookie of the Year for the podcast?
Where's my notes? I wrote Jesse. I've been a long time listener, so I've actually been listening to you, Joel, and the work on the LOI for a long time, and I've watched most of the live shows throughout the year and got involved about halfway through when you asked the question and put it out there in the feelers, and that's how I've got involved. So I feel like I pretty comfortably can say, and that's no discredit to anyone else in here that's Mika, Jake, that's eligible for it. But yeah, Jesse, just what you've done and how you've carried the Super Coach and how you helped go through it and help us go through that. Yeah, I've got you down as Rookie of the Year, my friend.
It's a nice way of saying we were shit without Jesse, so that's all good. Jez, what do you got?
You were.
It's tough to choose because we had so many wonderful people step up. It was nice, as Mika said before, jumping on and then getting to meet people via video rather than just through misreading messages in the chat. So it was nice to actually see people. So I didn't realize that Jesse was eligible. It feels like he's been here for an eternity.
Yeah.
So
That's
I was
nice,
actually I was giving my vote to the wannabe Victorian Trav. I really like him coming in, and plus he gives me lots of compliments, which I like a lot. So my vote is for Trav. Good on you, mate. Fellow teacher too. We're looking after each other.
Oh, sorry, I was too late.
Oh, I've already casted my vote.
Damn it.
Mika, what do you got?
I'm gonna vote for. This was tough. I'm gonna vote for Trav purely because sometimes I get too heated in discussions in group chats and on podcasts, and I feel like Travis always has a calming influence and voice and speaks ridiculously well. So he gets my vote. I think he's very clear in what he says, and he's always got really good points. It was a tough battle between him and Jace for me because I've had some very, very funny moments with Jace through the year in the group chat when I was trying to be a lawyer, and that was one of my favorite moments of the year. So and I think I actually got him to admit that I was right on one point, so that was pretty cool. But yeah.
And if you want to see these screenshots and leaked messages, join our Patreon
True, I don't know if you realize or not, but I'm definitely not a rookie, so no one can say me. Jace, what do you got?
I was going to say, if you're going to leak those screenshots, you might have to get me to draw up a disclaimer for that page, for that Patreon page. It's going to be Jakey Boy. I mean, he came out of nowhere. What was it? Magic Round? And then he's on every podcast you can imagine now. So he's going to be doing something right.
Yeah, Jesse, what do you got?
I got my boy Trav. He's my partner in crime, man. He's my 5'8", my wingman. We do this Super Coach stuff. As soon as he joined in, far out, we just sort of hit the ground running with it. We're already running half the season, me and you, and then I just feel like every time we do one, we talk pretty much freaking every day, all day about Super Coach, just constantly going back and forth, and then we finally get on a video. So yeah, be rude not to, really. He's done a freaking hell of a job, man. He's been a great partner this year.
Yeah, you two are doing a great job with that Super Coach. I know I missed half of the episode. So, Jake, what do you got?
So I've gone with Jesse. I haven't been on here for obviously. I think I'm the newest member. I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I obviously have sort of met everyone, all the boys, the least out of sort of everyone. But I always like Jesse's takes. I always usually think that they're pretty on the money. So that's what I've gone with for there. I usually think that I agree with your takes a lot. So,
my Rookie of the Year, I have given it to Mika Martin. I actually feel like he has been sensational this year, both on and off the mic. In the chat, very passionate, talks. Always up for a chat about footy. We all often have some arguments, but he's always afterwards ring me up or something, or we message and make sure we're all good, which I really respect. And it's always done as true passionate fans, and he's always happy to come on the podcast. I know he does a lot work-wise, and being able to, when he had that time away, he was always keen to get on from Fiji. I know it was a funny, drunken podcast, but he still got on there when a lot of people would have gone, you know what, I just want to have a break, and really appreciate that one for yourself. And I know you're new to this, and it was big for you to show your face and talk footy in front of a mic and stuff. So I appreciate what you've done. And you're my rookie for this year. Guys, by the way, the grand final predictions, I'm going to do it as a post because this will go for 5 hours if I don't. So we've got 2 more questions to go. We're not going all the way through grand final predictions, I don't think. Most one-eyed fan on League of Inches. This could be a fun one.
Unanimous.
Jez, kick us
Fucking
off here.
unanimous.
Kick us off here. Who is your most one-eyed fan? Not fan. One-eyed fan on the podcast.
I'm going to go with a different take on this. It's the most one-eyed hater, and it's Adam Martin. If he gets any chance whatsoever to throw shade at my Newcastle Knights, he will do so, even if it doesn't make sense. He will somehow rope in a dig at the Knights. So, Adam, it's on you, pal. You need to look in the mirror. All right.
Mika, well, who you got?
Yeah, Adam. He's such a fucking rude prick, isn't he? He's such a prick. My main reasoning behind that is it's sad because he can actually talk quite a lot of sense about football and discuss a game and shit quite well. But the way he constantly hammered Trav about Melbourne got past the point it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane. So, Adam, by a long way.
Drop a comment if you're listening to Adam. I no doubt you probably are. Jace, who you got?
Look, I'll say this. I got Adam's back, mate. Adam, if you're listening, I got your back, bro. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. Because I think I'm the most one-eyed one because I agree with Adam. Whatever he says about everything.
Jesse, who you got?
Oh, freaking all you Eels boys are just the same, aren't you?
We're sour, man. We're sour.
Yeah, hard. I don't blame you. It was a shocking year. Yeah, it's just Adam for all of the above, and it's just hilarious to say Adam. I think you got to be rude not to. That's great.
Jake, who you got?
I wish I could go along with the Adam train, but I'm not going to. I've actually got Trav. Always willing to defend. Always willing to defend the Storm against
You don't
everything.
listen to many podcasts, then, do you?
Let him talk. Let him talk. Respect, please. Respect.
Just always willing to defend the Storms, and just against everything all the time, and that's fair. So
He even has
There
to
you
load
go.
all the Storms. It's Trav, who you got?
Yeah, the Storms.
I think what we need to do is tell Jake to go and listen to some of the podcasts. Clearly, he doesn't listen or care about the page. I mean, we've had Jace labelled him Rookie of the Year, and he obviously doesn't watch or listen to anything because that's a shit take. There's the second stupidest take of the year that I've got. Because I am not
Live on air.
Mika,
live on air.
that Trav was
I'm- all right.
calm
I'm
and
going
was able
mostly
to articulate himself well out of situations.
This is all falling apart.
What's happening?
The wheels have
Couple
come
of
off.
drinks. You muted, Mika.
You muted me.
Oh no!
Apparently, that was a shit take as well, then.
Trav, what do you got?
Adam.
Who you've got? Sorry. Yeah. I'm locking in Adam as well for exactly the same. I thought I'd be the only one that took it that way, but I'm glad a lot of us are on the same page. I'm actually saying his hatred for the Knights and the Storm together is just next level. And early on, it was against Penrith as well. He basically lost all of our Penrith viewers from early on with some of his takes against Penrith. So please come back, Penrith fans, and give us a watch and a listen, please.
You know what needs to happen now? Adam needs to do a reply podcast to
Yeah.
everything that's been said about him.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to do best player of the year, but we all know that's probably that's all Jerome Hughes, so I'm not even going to bother with that question. Adam Martin.
That's rough. That's rough.
Oh.
Oh god!
We'll admit he scrubs up all right in that suit.
When you don't make the end of season
Spider-Man.
podcast, sorry, but you get bashed a bit. So. All right, last award for the night. It's our League of Inches panel member of the year. So everyone is open for this award to grab it. It's gone over to Mika to give this one out first. Your League of Inches panel member of the year.
I will go Joel. for putting up with all my stupid shit, for putting up with all our stupid shit, for all the work he does in the background constantly. I think people probably underestimate what it takes to run a page and do this sort of stuff. I know what it takes doing my band page at times, and I still think Joel works 3 times as hard as that for this page. So, yeah, Joel, for getting us all to do this in the first place, for giving us the place to talk shit every week about footy, just the game we love, for giving me a new group of mates to talk to whenever I need to, and yeah, just being himself with that smick haircut that I'm jealous of.
Nice little fade. I got it when my little boy got his first haircut on the weekend. That was really awesome experience. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate those words. Jace, who you got for your League of Inches Member of the Year?
This is a really tough one for me. I'm split between 3 people, to be honest with you. Obviously, Joel.
Got to go one.
Without, I'll just like a judge does. I'll keep you in suspense. I'll talk about 3 different scenarios, and then I'll try and come to one conclusion at the end. Joel, obviously, because Joel, he's got us into this. Joel does so much and supports us so much as well, and has helped me support my business, my consulting business. So that's a tick for Joel. Mentioned Jesse. Anytime I've been a guest on a Supercoach one, I've always been convinced to change my trades. Very convincing, very insightful. Made me keep Mulatalo. Then he got injured, and I was a bit. Then he came back. But it was always good to get everything that I thought I knew about Supercoach and all my decisions completely flipped 180. So that was always great. And Mika, and basically for being a good bloke and also giving me that scarf right there. The story behind that is I lost my dad's scarf. People might know my dad passed away in 2018. I lost my dad's scarf at the Canberra Eels semi. The first semi we won since 2009. I got absolutely drunk out of my mind and lost that scarf. Told Mika that story, and within 3 weeks he'd bought me one. So I guess being sentimental as I am, it's going to have to go to Mika for giving me that scarf and being just a good bloke and having good bants and making me concede as a lawyer to his arguments.
Mate, that's beautiful. That's really nicely said, and agreed with everything you said there. That's a great moment, and I know that meant a lot to you, speaking to you off air about that a number of times. Jesse?
Mate, I'm going to go with you for this one, and I think it's super valid and clear. I just think the amount of effort you put into the page, pretty much just echoing what Mika said. Like you live and breathe this page, man. Like League of Inches is your baby. You've raised it. You've grown it into something freaking really, really good. Like these boys that we've got on here are bloody incredible. Like you can just chat with them. You can just chat without anything. It doesn't have to be about footy. You've got a good crew together. I love these blokes. Happy to do pods with them at any time. And we just really like everyone here. The dynamic's it's so good. Such a good group. And honestly, it's all off the back of your efforts, man. The sponsorships, the following, everything. Like, I don't know how you're doing it as a one-man show, to be fair. Like, I get time for it. You've got little one, you've got family, you've got work, and you're still able to put in as much effort as you do. It's unbelievable. So, yeah.
Appreciate that, brother. We've got a very understanding missus, let's just say that. So family time is a lot done during the day, and night times are done with this. Jake, who you got?
Yeah, just anyone but Joel, to be honest. Anyone else?
I don't think I should get it. It's not fair.
No. Look, it was between 2 for me. Adam was sorry. So I've gone with Jace as my panel member of the year. I usually tend to like the things that he says. I mean, most of them are about the Eels, so that helps a lot for your case there, Jace, to be honest with you. And yeah, look, I just like to listen to the things that you have to say. So,
It's because I picked you as rookie, isn't it?
No, but I did appreciate that a lot. So, I'll take that as a thank you.
Lot of love. Trav, who you've got?
Yeah, like I feel like this question's a bit of a piss take, mate, so that we can all look at, so everyone can sit there and bow at Joel, because this is what
I didn't think it would go there. Honestly, I did not think it would go that way. I'm actually a bit embarrassed. It's my page. I've got to be here. So
That's exactly right. But nah, I think the boys have summed it up. Jesse, Mika, you summed it all up. Joel, I've put you down. It was pretty simple. You're on every show, except for a couple of those late night Supercoach ones because you're a dog. But you're literally on every show. You do all the Facebook posts. You ask us all. We probably piss you off because a lot of us don't answer when you need us to. But you still get it out there. You do all the work around those things, writing the agendas for all of this, all that stuff that people sort of don't see, don't really appreciate. I didn't appreciate until I actually started being involved about what actually is involved in what you do. I think it was a no-brainer, mate. You're a superstar, and we love you for it. And I didn't know about the story, but kudos, Mika. Helping out Jace there with that. I just wanted to just give you a kudos, mate, because that's it gives you a bit of love for the world, and there are good people around there sometimes, and it's good to hear those sort of stories, mate. I love a good news story, so kudos, Mika.
Shows a nice tight bond that we got here as well, which is always nice to gloat about. I think it is something to gloat about. It's good that we've all sort of got each other's backs in those sorts of instances. And I appreciate what you said, Trav. Really do appreciate that one. Thank you. I met you last week, the week before. Got to sit down and have a bit of a pub feed together, so that was nice. And even more of a shitter bloke in person. Yes, you got.
Well, again, when you write these agendas, you need to label the segments correctly. So this is all just the praise Joel for being an amazing segment. So I will echo what everyone else has been saying as well. It's all the behind doors, all the behind the scenes stuff that you do is incredible. I don't know how you do it. You're obviously very passionate, and you have a very loving and supporting partner at home. So big shout out to her. She's actually going to be my lol, even though she's not a panel member. But she's going to be the one that I shout out. She's the one that I'm going to give the kudos to because she allows you and she supports you to do this. So big shout out. What's her name again? Sorry.
I'll call her Mish.
Well, big shout out to Mish because she is the real superstar of this for allowing and supporting you to do this. So well done to her.
Could not have said that any better, and you've got me into the good books definitely tonight. So thank you for that, Jez. I'll be on replay for the whole night. So there you go. For me, and echo exactly what Jez said. First of all, thank you to all you boys for what you have said. Very, very kind words, and I could not do it without the support that I get from my house, my home, my kids, and my missus as well, and the support of all you boys. I wish I could give it to all of you, but obviously an award, we gave it to one. So I've actually given this one to Jesse. I think he has been just above anything I could have asked for him to do this year. I feel like I reached out to him end of last year after the Supercoach season, and he did a very, very good job. And selfishly, I thought it'd be a great little point for the page to have originally. Then our first chat we had together, we basically felt like we clicked straight away, and I knew this was a guy that could bring a lot more to the page than just sort of a Supercoach point of view. But we just stayed at Supercoach at the start, and then I think early on one of the boys couldn't make one of the live shows, and Jesse was more than happy to jump on, and all of a sudden, this bloke has a really good footy brain as well, and he helped carry all of that as well. So he wasn't just doing Supercoach stuff. He was doing footy pods as well. He was only asked at the start to do one pod a week, and he ended up doing 3 or 4 a week for a lot of it. When I was working and stuff, I was doing interstate trips. I couldn't upload half the stuff. He was there to help out and do all that, take the lead of Supercoach. When I know you hated doing that, and I know you don't want to host, but you actually do a very, very good job of it. So I really appreciate everything that you do for us here. For myself, you make my job a hell of a lot easier than it is at times, and I thank you for that. So thank you. You're mine.
He's easy on the eyes too. Tell you that much.
Really nice.
Yeah,
You blokes. Get out. No, thanks,
Good
man.
beard.
I really appreciate that. Oh, it's really
It's
nice.
sexy.
The Connor Watson Award, the ultimate utility.
Yes. Yeah. He was everywhere.
Perfect.
Everywhere.
No, thank you.
He's got a
Now-
sexy voice too.
Yeah, he does.
Because he stays off
I
the bongs, Mika.
No, you're wrong.
Can I just say I got a right to like what's it called, Jace? A right to
Right to reply.
Why?
yeah, that's it.
Right of reply. Yep.
Not a bong smoker. I'm a drinker. I just drink. No drugs at
Sorry.
all.
It's me.
Just saying. Not that I judge, but just yeah.
It's all right. It is what it
Completely
is. It is what it is. Now for me, and shout out to you,
smoke,
Tyler.
that's
Thanks
fire.
for being part of things this year. Really appreciate it. Well done, Jesse. You just missed out, Tyler. You're second place for me. Just missed out. But so we were going to do some grand final predictions. What I do, instead, so we don't go till like the 2 hour mark once everyone has their say, I'll do that as a post. Everyone will put in the chat, and I'll get a post up. Get that out there Saturday probably. Unless I thought you boys don't want to stick around for that long, surely.
Just one word answer. Who's going to win?
Yeah, just fire it off. Quick fire.
I'll
All
go
right, we'll
first.
just-
Melbourne.
Hang on. What, you want to go through all the questions, Jez? Do you want to go through the
Para.
questions? Jez, you're the producer for the live shows. Do you want to do all the questions I had for grand final night, or just the
How many are there?
the main? There's 6.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fire them off. Quick fire. No,
Right.
no ranting,
Quick fire.
people. No
One
ranting.
word.
Here.
One word.
Quick fire. First of all, state
Jake's on
championship.
6% with his laptop, so quick.
Yeah, go to Jake. Go to Jake.
What was the question?
Jake, state championship. Newtown Jets versus the Devils. Queensland Cup winners. Who wins?
I didn't hear the question.
Jets versus Devils.
Move on.
Devils.
Trav,
Devils.
Jez,
Jets.
Mika,
Newtown.
Jace,
Jets.
Jesse.
Jets.
I'm going Jets as well. NRLW winner, Roosters versus the Sharkies. Jake,
Sharks.
Trav,
Roosters.
Jez,
Roosters.
Mika,
Roosters.
Jace,
Roosters.
Jesse.
Brewster.
Yeah, I'm going Roosters. Too much class. NRLW, the Karen Murphy medal, so player of the game. Trav, who you got?
Kearney.
Jez?
Does she go by Elliot? Or did she change
Yes.
her last name? Yep.
Elliot.
All right,
Yeah,
then perfect.
change the last name.
Boyle.
Millie Boyle Elliott.
Mika?
Kelly.
Jace?
I'll go with Penatani. She's playing for Sharks in the grand final, isn't she? I think she had a
Yep.
good year. Yeah, Penatani.
Jesse? Studying the lineup.
Yeah. Aiken.
I am going Semi Bremner, the story coming back out of retirement. I think she'll have a huge game and go back into retirement, player of the grand final. The NRL, actually, I'll say NRL winner, Jakey boy. Oh, sorry, Jake. Sorry. I did.
I'm leaving.
Because
I'm
I
watching
kept
him go.
starting with him, and then I forgot I didn't start with him. The
I'm
Karen
watching
Murphy
Travis
medal winner.
play. Travis is looking at him like looking at me. I'm looking at Travis. That was gold.
Karen Murphy medal
I was
winner.
going to go with Millie Boyle Elliott too. So, yeah. What was your
Perfect.
question?
All right, NRL winner. Let us know, Jake. Who wins it?
Panthers will win it. I want Storm to win technically, but Panthers will win it.
Trav, do I even ask?
Storm.
Jez,
Storms.
Mika,
Storm. Singular. Not plural.
Jace,
Unfortunately, Storm.
Jess.
Penrith.
I'm going Storm. And
Jesse,
just give us
can you
a
stop
stat.
doing the smouldering look up as well, like before you
Yeah.
answer?
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at.
Panthers.
I'm looking down. Oh,
Uh,
Go
give
Knights.
us a try scorer of the grand final. Jake,
Liam Martin.
Trav,
Katoa.
Jez,
Hughes.
Mika,
you knobhead.
That was clean.
Coates. Is Coates playing? Is he injured? He's playing.
No, he's fine.
no, he's fine.
I'll go Coates.
Jace,
Wishart off the bench.
ooh, Jesse,
Alamotti.
ooh,
Good call.
Brian Toto for me. The Clive Churchill medal winner.
Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, that's good. Rate that. Trav,
Munster.
Jez,
I'm going to get Hughes.
Mika,
Would be
Harry
good.
Green.
Jace,
Yeah, I think Hughes did a double.
Jesse.
Nathan
This is
Cleary.
fun. I
All
am
different answers
going
too.
Jerome Hughes to do the double. He'll get the Clive Churchill and the Dalian, obviously. So that's that one there. Streaker one, last one, a streaker for the night. Yes or no
Like
to a
what, everyone?
streaker? Jake,
Over under.
Yes.
How many?
Yes, because it's going to be me. I'm going to the game.
Are you actually?
It's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to do it.
Oh, you've called it now.
Honest.
You have to do it.
Oh, I've got to put money on
I'm
it.
not in a streak. I'm
Insider
going, but I'm not in a
trading.
streak.
No, you can't
Nah,
just
you
say the yes.
You said it.
I'm
said
going to the
yes.
game. Yeah.
There will be one, but it will not be me.
Ah,
It will
With
be
your League
gold.
of Inches shirt, so there's lots of photos of it.
Yeah,
It's a wizard sleeve out the bottom.
do what that chick did at the soccer. She wore her OnlyFans website.
yes.
I remember that.
Trav,
Oh, he's
goodbye,
he's
Jake.
gone.
Yeah, Jake,
Yeah, Jake.
Getting ready.
Phones
Oh,
off.
he's gone.
laptop
No
used.
streaker.
No streaker. Jez.
Yeah, 2 streakers.
Oh,
It's going to be a duo, and they're going to duke it out. It's going to be great.
Plural, like storms.
Wow.
Correct.
Mika.
But Channel 9 will be dogs, and they won't show it.
Yeah,
As
that's
always.
fucking annoying, isn't it? No
As
streaker.
always.
No one can afford that shit in the current economical climate.
Jace.
No.
no, it's not in New Zealand or Queensland, so no.
Jesse.
No, not this one.
No, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say it's a behaved grand final. That is it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching and being part of the show. Mika, you have a straw Peter for us, or you're drinking too many nice things? It's no.
I can't do
straw
it out of a
tonight.
glass.
That's all right. That's all. I understand. It's all
Got a
good.
2-liter Coke bottle there.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Fill it up. Fill it up.
I'll
Real man
promise
to do it.
next podcast I'll do one, then I'll make sure I've got a beer ready.
Bring it. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Mika and his band No Quarter for obviously recording that theme song that we now have and have had it for pretty much the year, and really do appreciate the time and effort that went into it. I know it's a big job. I know a lot goes into doing that, so really do appreciate you doing that one, Mika, and the band. Going to give a quick plug. Anything coming out shortly in terms of gigs or songs?
We've got in 2 weeks we do a gig at Lincoln Pin at Woi Woi, and then we've got a big show in Newey on Saturday. So that's the 18th and 19th of October. The 19th of October is also my birthday show. There's going to be bands during the day, lawn bowls, drunken stupidity. Everyone's dressing up like it's the 90s. So come and as for new music, we're looking at starting the journey of recording another album early next year. So yeah, here we go again.
Can you feature every single League of Inches panel member in one of those songs, please? Thank you.
That's a good challenge.
Yeah, maybe I'll get used together for one day or some shit.
We'll do like a bring back the biff thing. We all get in the background and we like the chorus or something.
Yeah, that could work. If you haven't heard us, please check us out at No Quarter on Facebook or Instagram or Spotify, all that shit. Fans of 90s skate punk.
And if you go to a gig, if you tell him you're a follower of League of Inches, he'll give you a free shirt. I'll let you know that now. So
I will.
just
I
go-
will.
it's,
Fucking will. Yeah.
Just from me, everyone, thank you very much for all your hard work this year. My first huge thank you is to everyone who's followed, liked, listened, watched, whatever you have done. A single like has gone a long way of helping us be promoted. I haven't got the numbers on me yet. I'll do that towards the end of the year, but we've grown so much this year on basically all platforms. It's been incredible. So there's no bigger thanks I can give to you guys, to everyone on this panel at the moment, and the boys that couldn't make tonight, and those that have been and gone on the podcast as well at some point this year. Thank you to all of you. It's a lot of hard work, a lot of family time that's missed, and night times where you could probably easily be in bed. You're up here talking football, and it's not always easy to do, but I
We're all
really do
married, aren't we,
appreciate.
We don't know what that is.
Hey, mate,
I really do.
you got to marry the right girl then.
I do appreciate every single one of yours hard work and everything. So Nick has been busted.
It's just one of the
for
products
sure.
of that fantastic marriage he was talking about.
Whoop.
Well,
But,
I'll think about that.
no, I do say thank you to everyone there. It's been a huge growth period. Really looking forward to next year already. I hope everyone out there enjoys the grand final. It's going to be a ripper. I feel like the two best teams of the year going to go at it for 80 minutes and keen to get into it and watch it. We'll have a few more things out at the end of the year, some season reviews for teams and stuff, but this will be the end of the live shows for the year. We will see you all next year. But again, thank you, boys. Thank you for all you've done, all your hard work, and see you all next year on the live platform. But keep liking us across YouTube and all the Spotify, etc. as well. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
There you go.